If you guys want the fastest way to improve your aim, get some Control Freaks for cheap. Use code GOBLIN for 10% off and improve your aim today. Link in the description. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II video. Now, a bunch of weapon changes happened in World War II today. You guys can check out my video uploaded earlier covering the patch, everything that was nerfed and buffed. But one of the things that was buffed was actually this grease gun, and it's really good now right now, boys. This is a really good SMG. Gonna be talking about what they changed, how it feels to me, because I did go on and play, and this gameplay is new gameplay with it. This is right after this. I just got this a couple hours ago, so it was after the patch update, and I'm gonna give you guys a class setup as well for this gun right now. If you guys could drop a like on this video, that would be really awesome. I'm very excited about this grease gun, which is a gun that I've always loved and being really good right now. Let's go for 310 likes. If you guys could all smash that like button, that would be awesome. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed. And let's get into this. So basically, what was changed with this grease gun were two things. There is more recoil control, which is both of them are buffs. So more recoil control basically means that they reduce the recoil on this gun. Now beforehand, this gun had pretty much not that much recoil. It had a little bounce to it up and down, and you could run grip before, but now as you guys can see in this gameplay, there's virtually no recoil. This gun literally has no recoil, straight up. Like, I don't know, maybe if you held down the whole clip and didn't pull down on the trigger at all, you get a little bit of vertical recoil. But this thing is essentially a laser gun, and I didn't notice the recoil once in this whole gameplay here. I actually died like a couple off of a V2 rocket here because I pick up a gun, I'm running out of ammo and all this stuff. I was going so off. I picked up this Type 100 and I ended up running out of ammo and getting shot in the back, I think it was. But I did go on a nice little streak in this first round, but that was the first thing that was buffed. So that was a pretty nice buff, but the main reason why this gun is so good right now and why this gun is a new god gun is because of the second buff it received, which was a buff to the ADS transition time, which essentially means the gun aims down sights faster. Now, if you guys didn't know, the grease gun was actually unique in that it had the slowest aim down sights times before this update of any of the SMGs. That was a big thing holding it back. Now, I expected this buff to maybe just make it on par with the other SMGs, but when you go into a game and you aim down sights, you're going to notice this is a huge buff. You literally scope in as if you have quick draw, maybe even faster than if you had quick draw with no quick draw attachment, which is uncomparable to any of the other SMGs. It's super fast to ADS, and that is the buff that this gun needed. So that's the big part of the buff, which makes it a god gun and a top tier SMG in this game. And of course, having no recoil is a bonus because before it had a little bounce, and now there's really nothing that you have to deal with on the recoil section. So this gun is insane. You don't have to run quick draw because of the aim down sights time is literally instant now after this buff. You don't have to run grip because there's no recoil, and those are two of the main attachments for SMGs. So you're basically free to play around with this gun and put in work with it. Now, the only big weakness I would say as far as the grease gun is there's two weaknesses, and there are easy ways to fix them. Now, these weaknesses were before the patch and they still are after the patch. Now, I would say this is a top tier SMG. Maybe I'll talk about that later in the video, but the two weaknesses are, number one, the iron sights or the default sights. The sights kind of suck with this gun. However, there's an easy fix if you have a variant. Personally, I use the Epic Grease Gun Candy, which I believe this one you can buy straight up from the collections. So if you have, and if you have been playing this game the whole time, you should probably already have this variant if you're a fan of this gun. If not, you can just save up the credits, and then you can use your armory credits to unlock it through the collections and get this variant, which fixes your problem. The sights on this one are beautiful. Really good looking, and there's not much in the way of them. It's basically just, you know, a flat thing with a line in the middle, and it's a lot better sights compared to what it kind of looks like the PPSH in a sort of way, and the grease gun one looked very ugly as it is on the default sight. So that's what fixes there. Now, your other weakness with this grease gun is the fire rate. Now, they buffed the recoil, no recoil, ADS times faster than all the other SMGs, but the fire rate is still slower than SMGs, and that's That's the only thing I could see people not liking about this gun. However, the way that I'm able to fix that is with my class setup here. And what I mean by that is because, like I said earlier, you don't need quick draw or grip now after this update, I'm free to mess around with these attachments. And what I run for the attachment is rapid fire, which increases your fire rate around 6.5%, 6.7%, somewhere around there for most SMGs. And it's the same with the grease gun. That is pretty much needed. This gun is a 3-shot kill at most ranges. It has pretty much the best 3-shot kill range in the game as far as SMGs, and you mix that with this rapid fire, you still don't have the fastest fire rate ever because, of course, on a very slow firing gun with a 6% increase, it helps quite a bit, but it's not going to change it to where this gun fires like the Thompson. That's literally impossible to have it like that, and that would make this gun complete broken. But you run rapid fire, and that's what makes this a gun able to be the God gun. As far as my second attachment I run with this thing, I choose personally to run extended mags simply because I just don't want to reload as much, and you do burn through ammo fairly quickly with this gun. You could run it possibly advanced rifling on that one because this gun does work very good at long ranges. Of course, it has the best 3-hit kill range, which is awesome, especially if enemies are weak. You can literally kill them in 1 to 2 shots, and even at longer distances, you're going to be killing in 4 or 5 shots, so you shouldn't have a problem there. So my 2 attachments will be rapid fire and then extended mags, which give you a lot of room to work with this gun. As far as the rest of the class setup goes, it's very simple. I run airborne, and I also slap on hunker, and then of course I have the machine pistol extended mags as my secondary, and a Semtex, or aka an N74 ST, which is the Semtex grenade, basically, or sticky grenade. That's pretty much my standard class setup, and it's really, really good with this weapon. Now, the conversation is how good is this weapon, and it's very interesting because in a game that they were getting accused of being an SMG only meta, and that was something that they were having trouble with, is that SMGs are at a really good spot right now. It's interesting why they buffed this gun so much, and I don't really understand. I'm totally for it though because I love the grease gun. Of course, I've talked about before why this gun is special to me, because when I first started playing this game, it's the first SMG. Me being an SMG player in previous Call of Duty games, I gravitated straight to this gun and started using it, and of course it's a very good gun overall. Now, they did also buff the FG42, but I think the SMGs are in a crazy spot in this game. I'll definitely have to make some more like top 5 guns or talking about which guns are the best, but as far as SMGs right now, this gun is in a very good spot. Honestly, I would probably put it as the #1 or the #2 SMG. Now, of course, the competition I'm talking about here is the PPSH. I'm going to have to, the reason why I put those two so high also is because they're just so consistent. A gun like the Thompson is great, but it's not very effective at long range. And other guns, the Type 100 is great at long range, it's you know, doesn't kill the quickest at close range. But the PPSH and the grease gun are going to be the #1 and 2 slots. Now, is the grease gun better than the PPSH? It quite possibly could be because of that 3-shot kill range and super fast aim down sights time. You're still going to be lacking on the fire rate, but honestly, this update's only been out for, you know, a couple of hours, or, you know, almost a full day, I guess you could say half a day. So I definitely need to put in more playtime, but after I do give some more playtime with this grease gun and with all of these other buffed and nerfed weapons, I'll definitely make some updated top weapon videos and talk about it. But I do think the grease gun is in that top 2 SMG slot, or at least in that top 3 SMG spot, and I don't really see how you could argue that after you test out this gun. The main thing you'll notice, the first game when I tested out this gun and I aimed down sights, I had to double check and say, wait, am I running quick draw, and check the class setup because of how fast it aims down sights. I'm not exaggerating, it's actually ridiculous, and I could easily see them on the next patch update reverting it back, which has been a trend. They like to say we test our game and blah blah blah, but it just seems like really overkill, and you know, I'm not complaining because I really do like this gun, and now it gives me another SMG that I can slay with. But I think for the competitive scene, that's especially where they're going to get hit, and they've been talking about maybe buffing the STG-44 and nerfing the M1 Garand. None of those changes came through today, but those are definitely changes that are open to in the future. I think the grease gun is the one that received the best change today, and if you are a fan of this gun, you are going to have a great time with it. Definitely test out this class setup. Once again, class setup is very simple. Airborne, Hunker with the Grease Gun Candy, and that is important. Usually variant isn't that important. Well, it depends on the gun. This is the one, probably the most important variant of the game because of how big of a change to this iron sight that it has. And then I run 2 attachments. I guess technically you have 3 with the silencer. I do not equip the silencer. That's up to personal preference, but rapid fire and then extended mags. And this gun is a monster. Definitely be sure to give this class up a try. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I'm going to be, doing more videos with all these buffed and nerfed weapons. Drop a like if you guys made it to the end of the video. I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Sub for a cookie and don't looky. And have a great day, boys. And I'm out. Peace.